So welcome to the Spiritual Healing Perspective meeting. And so we start with a meditation. So if you come for the meditation, you're totally welcome. If you want to stay, you're also welcome to do that. So the theme of today is the idea of remedy. And that is particularly interesting, since like a remedy, what is sick, what is sickness that really exists at all in all this. So there's more to that than just a couple of ideas. So we really go for that, to dive deep into it and see what a beautiful gift there is for us, and in the recognition of that, of what it actually is. The meditation today is from the Urtext manuscripts, and there are 7 volumes. So this is from volume 7, The Gifts of God, it's called. And the Gifts of God are actually, say, the last book that came out. I think it was published maybe in 2000 or something, or maybe even later. But it is a very compact, say, booklet, you could say. It's very compact, and what it entails is, it's like all the ideas of gift to God is say, summarized in it or brought together in it. And that's particularly helpful in the meditation that we're going to do, because in fact that is our gift to God. And yeah, you're being guided really in how to do that, or what that is, where to find it, and what not to forget about it. So not just as a conceptual context, but really as, okay, this is exactly where that takes place, and let's go there. So it's an invitation to leave all the rest for what it is, and literally enter into the experience of that, of the gift. And the gift then being the place where there's no exchange, there's no receiving or giving, in fact, not even that. The gift is the gift itself, and it's received by sharing. And sharing is then also not from one to the other, but sharing is what it is. So, yeah, so there's some more words and some more help, in fact, and some more instructions in how to receive that for yourself, which is totally lovely, totally lovely. So I made it's like prefabbed a video that I'm going to share with you, and let's do that right now. What is of love, or comes from love, or offers love a gift, is one to him because it is of him. To him and from him are not different to one who has no opposite. For love is all there is and everything there is. A gift to love is given everyone, not lessening the giver, nor in truth adding to the receiver. More than love there cannot be. But this a gift becomes, if it is truly given and received, by both, to both, who know they are one. A key to silence and the peace of God. A glad acknowledgement of love of Christ, a greeting to the Holy Spirit's help, an invitation that he enter in and lift the Son of God unto himself. What more would God hold dear than this? These are his gifts as much as they are yours, for in them giver and receiver join. A gift is holy only when there is no sense of awe of who will gain thereby, and not a shadow of a thought of loss. It is not easy in the world to know what giving means and how to give a gift that God and all creation will accept as shining outward from a thankful heart and inward to the altar of its God. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the meditation, for the moment of silence we share together. And so for now, we continue with the spiritual healing moment together. And like I said, we continue with the idea of remedy. And that's an interesting thing, because of the idea of what is there to heal in reality. Well, there's nothing to heal in reality. So what is this remedy then? So in order to bring that into like a place where you can understand it, or not even understand, but actually see how that works and what the action is from you in that. I went through, say, the part where this is, say, yes, where this is shared by Jesus in the Course in Miracles. And in our spiritual healing handbook, there are some expressions related to the idea of remedy, and I use those too. So yeah, it's a bit interesting because of the difficulty with this is, in fact, you can't explain it. Like there's no explanation that really will do it. So that's always interesting in spiritual healing, you could say, or in spirituality in general, because like what does this have to do with? See, the thing that happens when you are coming into this is that you're so used to, I speak for myself too, it's like you're so used to being confirmed, you could say, confirmed in the place where you think that you are. Like you have all these figures walking around, all these relationships, as you call them, and they confirm your existence. They confirm where you think that you are, where you think that you actually exist. And in reality, that's not you. That is an idea you hold about yourself. So it's a character, you could say. It's a character that walks around in a dream. See, that makes it really interesting, and specifically in the idea of being confirmed in it by everyone. Like you look for recognition. You try to get recognition of your neighbors, of your partner, of your friends, of your family, of your government, of your boss, of your, like it is always related to being confirmed that you are you, because it needs a lot of confirmation. Otherwise you wouldn't believe it yourself either, that you are there. Then you become depressed, and because you're not being confirmed or not being like recognized in the dream, and you become isolated and do whatever. But it's like this confirmation, you like to be, yeah, established, confirmed, recognized, and all this. So, and like quite some time in the day, you actually ask for that. Like, look at how we enter into this meeting. I'm greeting you, like I'm greeting you. Why do I do that? To confirm that you're there, like to make it, make the connection with you is like, oh, hi, you're here, great, you're great, great that you're here. That's really wonderful. And but what am actually am I doing then is confirming you being in a place that actually does not exist. You know, it's like that's interesting. So if you would enter in, say as the Christ, you could say, if you enter in as the Christ, you would not need any confirmation. Knowing who you are, you're perfectly all right. You know, it's like, no, you extend the love that you are, and that doesn't need to be confirmed or recognized, or no, except in the fact that you share it with your brothers. You share that what you received for yourself with your brothers the moment that you can. And yeah, so that's it's good to take a look at that sometimes. Like, it's quite paradoxical, in fact, what we're doing in confirming each other's existence. While this existence is very temporary, and we're actually here to say, help each other remember that this is over, that you're not this, and that you will never be, you know, you as a character and in the definitions of yourself will never be the Christ. When you let go of the definitions, when you let go of this, say, what you value here, suddenly you see that the Christ in you emerges, so to speak, and you, yeah, don't even remember this. It's like this. It's like that's very interesting to take a look at it this way. So here, then, with the idea of remedy, too, in fact, that is placed in an, say, in a trajectory of healing, and say, in possibility to recognize what can be healed and how. So it's like you want to forgive. This is another nice example. It's like you want to forgive your neighbor because, yeah, what you did was not really so great, or who knows what happened. But then you're, say, you're the victim of the situation that you just confirmed for yourself, that you see that I want to forgive my neighbor because I have a memory that I did do something that actually, yeah, it was not so nice of me. While, to whom are you doing that? You know, to whom are you doing that? Is there really someone there that you can hurt and all this? Like, see, all this, even this is a confirmation of an identity that actually is self-defined. It has nothing to do with anything, in fact. If you look from it, from out of time, say, from your reality. So forgiveness of what never occurred becomes a little easier. Then you recognize, oh my God, I can't believe it. I walk around with a memory of something, but I know the past is gone. I need to let go of this. And then, even in recognition with the one that you think you did something to, the experience changes. So that is so interesting. So when you do this in the right way, so when you not only say want it to be forgiven, but also use say spirit for it to in fact allow yourself healing to occur, then that results in a reunion with your brother. And whether that is directly or not, that doesn't matter, but you will experience the healing of that. You will experience the oneness with your brother for just a moment, or who knows how long. So this is good to see. So then it's like, then everything is restored again. Like, no, nothing happened. So when nothing happened, that's a different experience than just saying like, okay, that didn't happen, it's an illusion. Like, well, that did not happen. No, none of this is true, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, then you miss something. So here's like, there's definitely provision in the sense of a restoration, you could say, or a remembrance of your connectedness. So that is an experience that you share. That is an high frequency love experience that you have. Then you know it worked, so to speak. Like, yeah, always trying to express this in a certain way. So I also made up some visuals that will support this, what I'm sharing right now. And I don't want to become conceptual in it, so it's of course we use concepts, but see, this like basically telling you this is not it, and that is not it, and that is not it, and that is not it. And then you have the opportunity to come to a different experience of it yourself in what is being shown to you. Now that is a very individual process. So that's why you hear whatever you hear. Like you hear, when you hear it, it does something with you. When you hear it and it doesn't do anything with you, don't be concerned with that. That will come, because it's in fact, it will resonate. So whenever there's a moment in which something opens up in you, then it can come to you. And you never know how that works. So it's like, don't be concerned with that you're not getting it right or anything like this. Like, you don't have to understand it. You don't have to say, put a lot of effort in it. No, it's more like, let this come to you, and it will come to you because it is the truth about you. So there's no, like, otherwise now you walk around with an idea that you didn't hear it and that you don't know where this is about, and that you might have missed it. And so that's not helpful to you or anyone. Like, no, just however hard it is, get out of the way in order to receive this. Get out of the way in the sense of open up, become receptive to let this come to you, like it is given to you. Okay, so that's a bit of the introduction to the images that I'm going to share with you. And yeah, they come from all through the textbook. So it's not just one thing, but you will see. But it's a very specific entrance into true healing. This is what we're talking about. In fact, we're talking about true healing. So what is true healing? True healing then is that it's an experience. It is not an idea just like this. No, it's an experience. Oh yeah, so this is how true healing occurs. So we're actually talking about that. Remedy, how true healing occurs. Now there's some expressions here. I start slowly, so to speak, but follow it well. You cannot cancel out your past errors alone. It's like you cannot just throw them away or put them aside and thinking that they're going to be healed. You cannot cancel out your past errors alone. They will not disappear from your mind without remedy. And listen well, the remedy is not of your making. Like, you cannot come up with the remedy for it any more than you are of your own making. Like, you are not of your own making. And there's a lot to say about this. So I'm going to bring myself like, whoops, back here. So it's like there's a lot to say about it, because some basic things are shared here. And see, the thing is with sharing, it's so interesting, because like there's a lot of light in my mind, and then to formulate is sometimes really hard, and this is one of those days that it seems to be like really hard really hard to like how I'm going to get this out of my mouth. So a bit like this, but it will come. So, but that's why you see me always like, okay, yeah, open, yes, yes, yes. Um, so the remedy is not coming from you. Neither are you. And why does Jesus say this? Like, neither are you making the remedy. Like, you did not make yourself. So in fact, that sets you free of your past mistakes. It sets you free of your past mistakes because you did not make yourself. Everything that you think that you did actually not occur, because that was a self-made character that is performing all kinds of insane ideas and things and getting in the most weird circumstances, doing crazy stuff. In other words, doing crazy stuff, but that is not who you are. So you could almost, like in Joel's terms, call this impersonalization. Like you do not make yourself. That's why you are free of what you do as crazy things as the you that you think you are, but you are not. See, here we go again with the, say, with the different ideas you can hold about yourself. So, try this. Try this. So, here it is. It's like, you did not make yourself, so that's great. I'm as God created me, right? So what that means, I don't know either. But it's like it's an experience of myself. So then also with the remedy. If I think something needs to be healed, to be, say, remedied, if you want, I cannot do this myself. Like, if I try to do that myself, yeah, you know the result of that. So that's why we always come back to this point, that you have to ask Spirit for guidance in order to do that. And that's not, yeah, that's not difficult or anything. It's just a matter of not forgetting to do that. Because the outcome that you want in fact to come into the deep experience that nothing went wrong, that you're home in heaven, that absolutely you're totally happy, and you know that kind of confirmation would do it for you. The rest not. It does not work. So you can try to do it yourself, and then you know the result. It's like, I'm still walking around with this idea in my mind about this situation of, oh my God, oh, what did I do? Or why is this coming back? I thought I forgave it. I thought I already did this, but it keeps on coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back. Now, well, that's a very practical, say, part of your own experience as you know yourself at this point. You know, so all these things that I'm, say, expressing specifically have everything to do with the idea that this is a trajectory to awakening. So I cannot establish you as the one who has a problem with the family, blah, 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 because then I would confirm the self-created figure that you think you are, as long as you think that that is what you are. You know, so if this character, for instance, if this character really thinks that it did something to the neighbor that wasn't nice, and that was had a real effect, and you can confirm that in all kinds of ways, like, yeah, you did something and there's a result there, you can actually see it, you have proof that you were wrong. Well, forget forgiveness then. Then it's becoming in your mind a fact, you know, it's like it becomes a fact. Now, how can you get out of that? Well, if you stay with that idea about yourself, you cannot get out of it. It happened. You have proof. You did it. So now, Now what? So that's why, in fact, like a human being cannot forgive if it thinks that it really did it. Same with sickness. We'll see that later on. Like same with sickness. If you really think you're sick, well, then you in fact deny your true identity. That's one thing. And in the sense that you assumed an image of yourself to be you. Like, no, in fact, nothing happened because you did not make yourself. You are as God created you, so that makes a lot of sense. So this is what I mean. It's like, it's not really a conceptual teaching here, as well as, well, that's not what you are. No, you did not make yourself. No, you are as God created you. That did not change. This self image that you have as a concept of yourself does all kinds of insane things because it thinks it's separate from God and can get into all kinds of fearful and disturbing situations. But that's not you. That cannot be you. So that can no longer be confirmed in you to yourself, that it's time to stop doing that. So if I say to myself, I have a family problem, then I am this character that is actually invented himself, thinking that I'm this character that has family problems. And I can confirm that to myself, and I really think that I'm that, and so there's no solution for that. That will keep circling around in my mind. So, like we said here, the only thing then is to ask for, not just to put it aside with, okay, well, I know it's not real. Like, no, that does not work. So you bring it back in, you try not to do anything with it yourself, but you hand it over and wait how you are instructed, how you can come, in fact, to the reality of who you are. It's like having an experience of healing yourself, given to you, not trying to do that yourself. It's given to you. Then you know it's healed. Then you know it's, then you know, in fact, that you're not that. You are not that. You have no past. You are not this character. Yes, this is the same as we said the other day. It's like with the fourth dimension. Like you can not have the fourth dimension mixed up with the third, in terms of that there's an exchange between the two. It's like no. So this is very helpful in as an idea about yourself. So you as a three-dimensional definition of yourself have no idea and will never be able to get out of that by your own doing. You're literally this construct in a three-dimensional definition of yourself. So now what to do then? So yeah, this is so great. So I love this because it's in fact the crux of spiritual healing. We get so incredibly fundamental that you might not even want to hear this. So it's like, die daily. Like this character needs to come down. The character that you think you are needs to come down. It's in the way, it needs to get out of the way. It is not what you are. It will never give you the fulfillment that you're looking for. So that's the practice, in fact, to die daily. But we'll see what Jesus shares here in the Course. Oops. You cannot cancel out your past errors alone. They will not disappear from your mind without remedy. And the remedy is not of your making, any more than you are. Every loving thought held in any part of the sonship belongs to every part. So this is a bit like as a continuation of the meditation that we had, like everything about love, you know. Every loving thought held in any part of the sonship belongs to every part. It is shared because it is loving. Like the natural attribute of love is sharing, never keeping it apart, never possessing it. No, it's always free to be itself. Sharing is God's way of creating and also yours. So what is that then? There was one question, like sharing is God's way of creating and also yours. So what does that actually mean then? Sharing is God's way of creating. So what is creating then? Because yeah, we love to make stuff, you know, we love to make a painting or a little video or a dance movement or a song. We want to make a song. Is that also creating then? It's creative, but it's not creating. Like it is. So you can say like the creations of light are what is real. You know, that is what is real. And that is what love is. So love being shared as a natural attribute being shared is what creation is what you are. Not this character that you think you are, so also not the character that imagines this, what that would mean. No, it is literally the fundamental principle of you. Like this is what you are. This is what that is. This is what God is. And now you think like, well, that's the same with the meditation effect. Like loving. We love that word too. It's like, yeah, loving is giving and this and that. Like, yeah, but love is what you are, right? Love is what you are. Like, in fact, love does not know about giving and receiving. We saw this in the meditation too. It's like love does not know about giving and receiving. It doesn't know the difference between it. It is not that. It is not concerned with that. So this is, yeah, don't think that you know with the ways that you are familiar with, that you know how to love. Like you don't know how to love in that sense. You don't know that. Because your way of extending, as you know it from your, say, human upbringing, is always in a three-dimensional form, you know, even though love is invisible. But you can feel it, of course. So, but it is like, well, we go a little further with that. It is more like you discover what your mind can do. It is, you're not accustomed to the idea of using your mind to extend the light that you are. You might practice it and you might be, say, familiar with it by now, by allowing different experiences to come to you. Absolutely. But it is like, there's so much that you can do with your mind just by allowing it to occur to you, actively, say, being in an experience of love, being the experience of love that you are. So if that isn't the Christ, then I don't know what it is. But this is great, because here we have like almost like a transitioning, say, borderland, if you want, where we're coming to. It's like the idea of creation has nothing to do with the three-dimensional experience of yourself. Now, when you experience creation, when you experience yourself being in an experience of the, say, the love of God, that starts to make sense. So it's of course not explainable, but it starts to make sense and it radiates through you. And so that can be felt here too, of course. Like here, when I say here, it's like that can be felt in your three-dimensional world dream, because in fact it is light that shines right through it. So even it has nothing to do with the three dimensions. No, it shines right through it. And we know this from Joel, for instance, too. Says like, look beyond the appearances, look beyond it. Now here's a very specific principle that comes to the surface now, and I'm going to share that with you too in one of the sheets. It almost looks like, who organized this talk? It's so beautiful how this comes to me. I have to skip a little bit. Oh yeah, here. This was the part where it actually blends in really good. So the reason why you must look upon your delusions and not keep them hidden, what we were talking about, like it's not enough to just put them aside and say like, okay, well that's, I don't know what to do with it. I'm leaving it now. It's not enough. So it's like the reason you must look upon your delusions and not keep them hidden is that they rest not on their own foundation. That is really so interesting. You will see it in a moment. It's like so interesting. The reason you must look upon your delusions and not keep them hidden has a very specific reason. They do not rest on their own foundation. Now that is, what is that? What is that? And I love that to share it with you, because it's like when you hear it, it makes total sense. So it's like delusions rest not on their own foundation, because they in fact have no foundation. So nothing, in other words, nothing is what it seems. So your three-dimensional delusion of yourself does not rest on the foundation of itself, of the delusion itself. It has no cause. And there's really something to discover, because in fact what you see, like if there is one love, one God, one truth, one wholeness, one, you name it, if there's one of that, then everything that you can possibly imagine must be made of the same stuff. Like there's not some other stuff, it's like it's one stuff. You can call it love, energy, whatever, but there's like one thing that it is. And that's really wild. So we're going to bring this into really practical applications. So not being on the foundation of itself, your delusions, like every definition that you hold about yourself, I'm this, I'm that, I'm sick, I'm poor, I'm wop, 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 wop. You mention. Any self-definition that you hold on to has no foundation, is not what it appears to be at all. Or I have pain, I have this, I have sorrow, I have lost, I have all of this. Like it's not resting on its own foundation. Now, why is that so important? That's really where we're looking at now. Why is that so important? For me personally, it started with my, awakening experience exactly in that spot. Because I was fed up with fear. I was so full of fear. I was aware that I was continuously in fear. To do things, not to do things, to move forward, to move backwards, to think about myself, to think about my family, my education, my job, everything was completely related to fear. I just saw it. And then instead, in fact, I surrendered, like I died into my fear, you could say. Like I died into my fear. So fear, come and get me. Whatever the result of that is, I'm taking it, because I'm getting so sick of this. I'm so fed up with being constantly in fear. And then what happens? I sink deeper into the experience of myself. Suddenly, I'm completely lifted up out of this, out of the situation that I thought I was in, lifted out of the definition of myself as I saw myself. Hearing for just a moment the perfect synchronicity of the whole universe as an sound, as an experience of myself, a brand new experience that I never had before as I could remember. So this is exactly what happens if you take a look at your delusions, if you take a look at your pain, if you take a look at your fear and are willing to recognize that all the reasons that you can come up with why this is happening, why you have pain, and all the research that you allow to be done, all of this and this and this and this, to confirm that it literally has its own foundation, which it does not have. If I allow myself to fall into that, in fact, to collapse into that, to really deeply go to the bottom of that, going to the foundation, looking for the foundation at least that's underneath of it, you see that something completely different is going on. In every occasion, like literally in everything that is completely disturbing to you, the disturbance has no foundation as you see it. It is, in fact, it doesn't have any origin at all, except your imagination, of course, for just a moment. So I'm sharing now the screen again, and here it says it so clearly, and I love that. It's so great. So they do not rest on their own foundation, for beneath them, beneath the delusions, and concealed, as long as they are hidden, like for instance the secrets that you walk around with, or the, whatever that is the loving mind that thought it made them in anger. It thought it made them, the delusions, in anger, to confirm its separation, or to confirm its separation from God, for whatever reason. For beneath them and concealed, as long as they are hidden, is the loving mind that thought it made them in anger. And the pain in this mind is so apparent. When it is uncovered, so the pain in this mind is so apparent when it is uncovered, that its need for healing cannot be denied. It's like when you really go for it, when you go into that and you uncover it by sharing it, by bringing it out into the open for yourself, to your best friend or to who knows, and at least you bring it up, you give it to spirit, the pain becomes so apparent that its need for healing cannot be denied. Now this is why I sometimes say, like, stay right in this pain point, in fact, in your Gethsemane, thinking that you're all by yourself, all this, all that, no. Like deeply into the, in fact, denial of you as an Christ. That's a great place to stay if you allow healing to occur. Like in this place, healing cannot be denied. So in fact, that is a very honest place in the figure that you think you are. So for here, in the last sentence, for here is both his pain and his healing. For the Holy Spirit's vision is merciful and his remedy is quick. So that means he doesn't let you suffer in it. No. So the healing is quick. As you allow this to come out, to share it, to to die in it, to feel it completely, not denying it any longer, but completely feeling it, going into that, then spirit can do something with it. But if you keep it apart, if you keep your secrets or your pains or your sickness or your this and that apart, even a little bit, then it cannot be healed. So that is so great. So now, yes, you want to do that. Then here it says like the remedy, like the Holy Spirit works quick. So you will be relieved of that just because it is in fact a recognition that your delusion had no foundation at all. That the change that you think occurred, is in fact not even a change. It's more like a recognition of who you truly are, which was always with you. So that's how, that's how comforting it will be when it occurs. Okay, so this I thought was like tremendous to share with you. So I really love that I brought that up, or that came up to share. I see that time is running out. I really would love to share with each other too a little bit about this, or be quiet with these ideas, which is also really beautiful. Okay, so I'm continuing, well, just to take another look if there's... Oh yeah, so this is just to bring it back a little bit to the here, well, I'm just start reading. Beneath all your grandiosity, which you hold so dear, like the grandiosity of being the confirmed one, being confirmed that you are this and that you're that, and asking for that, being confirmed. Yes, you are this body walking around. Yes, you are this beautiful one thing. You are this, you do that so great. You know, like all this, in fact, credit that you take for yourself, you hold so dear, is your, in that, beneath that, beneath your grandiosity and asking for the confirmation, is your real call for help, right? For you call for love to your Father, as your Father calls you to himself. In that place which you have hidden, in this place which you have hidden, you will only to unite with the Father in loving remembrance of him. Wow. So this is exactly the, you could say, like the healing place, the healing sanctuary where that can occur. So in fact it is, I love this, how beautiful is that? Like, so beautiful to share this and to have it literally like given to you. Amazing. So you come to the place where you recognize, oh my God, I was keeping an image up, I really tried to be the thing that I'm not. I did a lot of work for that, and I asked everyone to confirm it. But now I literally let that idea collapse. And I do this as a daily practice. I'm letting all my ideas collapse. No, I'm not that. No, I'm not that. No, I'm letting go of that. Like, no, that's not what I am. No, that's not what I am. All my concerns for the future. No, that's not what I am. All the definitions that I hold about myself. I'm this, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a brother. I can make a little song of that. I like this, I prefer that. Like all these definitions, you literally allow that to collapse, like into that black hole, going past the point of no return, and literally so that you never have to deal with that again. up to the next day, that you pick up an idea about yourself, making that real for yourself, allowing yourself to collapse back into it. So this is why we call this like one day at a time, and just dying daily is then the practice. But coming to the place where this death, which does not exist, is just the death of an image, where that actually happens is where you are truly calling your Father, and where your Father is truly calling you. You know, this is exactly the spot where that happens. And this is where you will be lifted up and, in fact, like hurled into reality. And that's exactly what's happening then. And that's exactly what's happening right now. See, it has nothing, literally nothing to do with your three-dimensional idea about yourself. That is the thing that's going to collapse on a daily basis. And you allow yourself to call your Father, and let your Father call you, and unite. Just like remember. So the healing capacity, or the healing information that we share today, is limitless, literally. It's like it can literally take you out of the situation that you thought you were in, but that situation that you thought you were in was literally impossible. It had no foundation of itself. It was made out of nothing. It was a mirage. It was a mesmerism. It was just an idea, just an image. And it collapses whenever you allow that to happen. All right, so thank you so much for staying with this, with me, and allowing this to come to you. That's so great to meet you here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. In class, I'm going to turn off the video now of the recording.